So this is one of the things that I've talked about in other videos, and I know I've done a lot of police dash cam videos just because it just caught my attention. So I'm probably gonna come and do some other stuff. I do conspiracy videos too. I'm gonna start doing those. I'm big on those, big on alien stuff. But this right here, female cops who went too far with teen inmates or just with inmates in general. Um, this is something I've myself have witnessed a lot. Not the act, but I've seen when they got in trouble. I've gone to work and they're like, "Oh, officer so and so, you heard what happened?" I was like, "What?" And then you hear the story. You know what I mean? So let's watch these female cops who went too far. It says with teen inmates, but I think with just inmates in general. They put teen to get your attention.
This female officer was caught sucking an inmate's finger, while this other one was found kissing an inmate in his cell. In the world of prisons, where law officers keep things in check, a troubling trend is emerging. Female officers are forming intimate relationships with inmates. Yes, you heard that right.
And having intercourse with full view of 11 other inmates is something only a depraved mind could come up with.
From a female cop caught having sex with an inmate in the presence of 11 others to another found in a store cupboard, here are 10 female officers caught being inappropriate with teen inmates. Kawana Jenkins. This Fulton County detention officer was caught in an act that completely destroyed her career. The female officer in the video I just showed you is Officer Kawana Jenkins. Jenkins was once a respected figure among correctional officers. Her journey began with noble intentions, a desire to bring order to a chaotic environment. Jenkins entered the correctional system with passion and a commitment to upholding its rules, earning her peers' respect for her unwavering dedication. Her career soared as she navigated the challenges of her role, from maintaining security to guiding inmate rehabilitation. Jenkins was always there, keeping things in order with head counts and inspections, earning respect from her colleagues for her professional demeanor with inmates. But that was far from the truth, because beneath this facade, Jenkins was anything but professional with an inmate in the facility. And the moment that would reveal all of this started just like any other day at the Fulton County Jail. Correction officers conducted their routine shakedown in the maximum security wing on January 28, 2023. As usual, they uncovered a stash of weapons, contraband, and phones. While going through the phones, as part of their routine, they stumbled upon a video involving one of their own. In the video, 36-year-old Officer Kawana Jenkins could be seen seated in a chair and filmed by an unidentified inmate as his index finger disappeared in her mouth. The aftermath of the discovery was chaotic. An immediate investigation was launched, revealing eye-opening details. The investigation revealed how Jenkins abused her position, arranging secret meetings, manipulating schedules, and even providing the inmate with prohibited items. Jenkins not only engaged in an inappropriate relationship, but also endangered the facility's security protocols. As a result, Jenkins was fired and arrested, facing multiple charges including improper sexual contact, violation of oath, reckless conduct, cruelty to inmates, and providing prohibited items without authorization. The inmate involved in the scandal was also subject to legal repercussions. He received additional charges for his role in the affair, which could result in an extended sentence and a transfer to a higher security facility. The investigation's findings painted a picture of an inmate who had manipulated Jenkins, exploiting her emotionally to gain favors and privileges within the facility. If you found Kawana Jenkins' story shocking, brace yourself for the next female officer on our list. She was caught having sex with an inmate right in front of 11 other inmates. Yes, you heard that right. The female cop I'm talking about is Tina Gonzalez.
Atera is the IT painkiller. Remote monitoring and management, remote access, help desk and ticketing.
In 2016,
Okay, Tina.
26-year-old Gonzalez began her job as a correctional officer at the Fresno County Jail. With a seemingly clean record, the young officer had no idea of the storm that lay ahead. The Fresno County Jail, a facility designed to rehabilitate and confine, became the stage for a drama that would shock the community and those within the law enforcement agency. Gonzalez, tasked with the supervision and safety of inmates, was expected to maintain a professional distance, a boundary that she would ultimately cross with profound consequences. officers. As months turned into years, Gonzalez's routine patrols and inmate interactions became part of her daily life. However, beneath the surface of this routine, a forbidden relationship was taking root. It was a relationship that would not only breach the ethical standards of her profession, but also the law itself. The turning point came on a day in May 2019, when the sheriff's office's vice unit received an anonymous tip that would unravel the secret that Gonzalez had been harboring. The tip alleged that a young male inmate, whose identity was kept from the public, had been given a cell phone, a clear violation of jail policy. But the tip went further, suggesting that the cell phone was not just for communication, it was a tool for maintaining an illicit relationship with Gonzalez. Tina Gonzalez had engaged in sexual activity with an inmate under her watch. The evidence was damning. Gonzalez had not only provided the inmate with a cell phone, but had also been complicit in smuggling contraband into the facility, including drugs and alcoholic beverages. But that's not all. The young female officer also provided razors to the inmate, a potential weapon that could have put the lives of her colleagues and other inmates at risk. As the investigation deepened, it was revealed that Gonzalez had taken steps to facilitate her affair with the young inmate. She even allegedly altered her uniform, creating a hole on her trousers that would allow for easier access during her sex.
Yo! This mother, she made, yo. Oh, man, there's so much I want to say, man, in YouTube. Anyway, that's crazy. She made a hole on her trousers so that for easy access, so she wouldn't have to take the trousers off. Man, talk about putting in work, giving it your all, 100%. I'm all about giving 100%, man. This this woman gave 110%, man. Not I'm not saying what she did was right. It was completely wrong. But that is, I've never, wow.
Sexual moments with the inmate. But wait, there is more. During some of the instances, Gonzalez and these young inmates will have sex in full view of other inmates. After the investigation, Gonzalez faced harsh consequences. She was arrested and charged with various offenses indicating betrayal and misconduct.
I'll tell you what, I bet you she had full control of that dorm. There could have been 80 motherfuckers in there. She walks in that dorm and says, hey, turn the TVs off. Them TVs are coming off. Turn them on. Them TVs are coming. I bet you I was the cleanest dorm. Cleanest dorm in that jail. Again, not saying what she did was right. Just saying.
In April 2019, she pleaded no contest to charges including sexual activity with an inmate, possession of drugs or alcohol in jail, and possession of a cell phone intended for an inmate. Following this, Gonzalez went to trial. Ultimately, the judge sentenced her to 2 years of probation and 7 months in county jail. Although the sentence was less than the maximum of 3 years and 8 months requested by the prosecution, the judge believed there was still a chance for Gonzalez to redeem herself. While Tina Gonzalez had sex with an inmate in front of other inmates, the next female cop on this list sent sexual images of herself to a teenage inmate, Jordan Trainer. In June 2018, 25-year-old Jordan Trainer developed a flirtatious relationship with a 17-year-old inmate after she became a prison officer.
Yo, let me tell you, these jits, man. Sorry, jits, we say that in Florida. These juveniles, they don't look like juveniles, bro. I've been with these juveniles, and these boys are bigger than me. Some of them bigger than me. They look older, but they 17, 16. It's crazy. I don't understand what it is with the female officers.
Before then, Trainer was just another prison officer in the correctional system. Like many, she entered law enforcement driven by a desire to serve and protect. Her journey as a prison officer began in the summer of 2018 at a young offender institution. At first, Trainer seemed calm, but inside, she battled intense emotions because of her personal life. Trainer's personal life was marked by feelings of loneliness and isolation. After moving to Yorkshire to support her husband's career, she felt lost in unfamiliar surroundings. The strain on their marriage grew, grew as her husband became increasingly distant during a 2-week training course, leaving Trainer feeling abandoned. However, the challenges didn't end there. Jordan's London accent became a target of mockery among co-workers, making her feel even more isolated in an environment that relies on teamwork and solidarity. This lack of connection at work, combined with personal struggles, pushed Trainer to cope in harmful ways, such as turning to alcohol. In this vulnerable state, Trainer found an unlikely connection with two 17-year-old inmates who became her confidants. As their communication increased, Trainer crossed a professional line she shouldn't have. She started sending sexual text messages to the young inmate, breaking ethical standards for a prison officer. The situation
What, do they have phones, or did she bring the phone in? How does it work in England?
situation got worse when Trainer took bold steps by taking explicit photos of herself, printing them at work, and giving them to the boy. But Trainer's misconduct didn't stop there. She got more involved with the inmates by smuggling in parcels, supposedly at the request of the first boy, to distribute among others. She claimed the parcels looked like phones, but she denied knowing their actual contents. However, the prosecution believed Trainer knew she was smuggling phones, which is a serious offense in prisons. Trainer didn't stop at that one inmate. She also started sending sexual messages and photos to another 17-year-old boy at the institution. Their relationship progressed to the point where the teenage inmate touched the female officer sexually on 3 occasions. Jordan Trainer's secret actions at the young offender institution couldn't stay hidden forever. Everything changed on December 23, 2019, when rumors prompted officials to search the cells of the two 17-year-old boys Trainer had been involved with. What they found during these searches would spell trouble for Trainer. They found 3 mobile phones, which upon examination revealed the extent of their communication. This discovery had swift consequences for Trainer. Trainer was arrested and was sentenced to 18 months in prison. The next female cop on our list also has an almost similar story to Officer Jordan Trainer, Imari Waller. Just like Officer Jordan Trainer, Officer Imari was a corrections officer at a youth correctional institution. Her job was crucial, overseeing the rehabilitation of young offenders at Adobe Mountain School in Phoenix. At 25, Waller was part of a team shaping these youth's futures, guiding them toward reform and reintegration into society. The school aims to provide a secure environment while offering educational programs, vocational training, and counseling. It's a delicate balance between order and growth, requiring integrity and dedication to the rules set by the Department of Juvenile Corrections. Waller joined the department in January 2019, a fresh face among those caring for these young individuals. Her duties included supervising daily activities, ensuring inmate safety, and providing
Anyone with $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans may qualify for help from National Debt Relief. Minimum
support for rehabilitation programs. The story changed when another youth corrections officer reported seeing sexually inappropriate Snapchat messages between Waller and an 18-year-old former inmate. This report triggered an investigation. The investigation revealed that Waller had indeed engaged in sexual intercourse with the former inmate.
Snapchat is a social media that'll get you fired in the prison. I don't know why. That's the one they pick.
Who, although released to community supervision in November, was still under the department's jurisdiction. A parole search of the young man's room further cemented the case against Waller. Investigators discovered nude photos and videos on his cell phone, which were not only explicit, but also featured identifiable images of both Waller and the former inmate. This tangible evidence left little room for doubt about the nature of their relationship. The investigation then turned to Waller's cell phone, which was examined on the same day. The search revealed multiple sexually explicit pictures and videos that matched those found on the former inmate's phone. With this evidence in hand, Waller was confronted by the investigator. Faced with the undeniable proof, Waller confirmed the sexual relationship with the former inmate. But the case took an even more dramatic turn when it was discovered that Waller had attempted to obstruct the investigation. During an interview, Waller was found to have brought contraband into the facility in the form of an Apple Watch. She used a bathroom break as an opportunity to make a clandestine call to her roommate through the watch. In this call, she instructed her roommate to contact the former inmate and tell him to deny and delete everything, a clear attempt to tamper with physical evidence and influence the testimony of the young man involved. Waller's actions, confirmed by her admission and the investigation's evidence, broke laws for Department of Juvenile Corrections staff. She was arrested and charged with unlawful sexual conduct, smuggling contraband, and tampering with evidence. While Officer Imari Waller was caught through her Snapchat messages with the teenage inmate, the next female officer on our list was caught having sex with an inmate on camera. Shania Begum. Shania Begum started working as a prison officer at HMP Birmingham in December 2018. HMP Birmingham is a facility known for housing some of the country's most challenging inmates. Begum was tasked with the day-to-day responsibilities of overseeing the prisoners, ensuring their safety, and upholding the strict regulations. However, as the months passed, the line between professional conduct and personal involvement began to blur for Begum. Shania Begum, just like every other female cop on this list, became romantically involved with an inmate. This inmate's name is Joshua Mullings. Initially, their relationship started innocently before turning into a secret affair. They found an unexpected spot for their meetings: the store cupboard. The store cupboard was a place designated for storage and organization, but it was often empty. Both Officer Begum and the inmate used this to their advantage. According to court records, in this unlikely setting, Begum and Mullings engaged in various activities like play fighting, flirting, heavy petting, and sex. Their secret meetings were carefully hidden from colleagues and the prison's surveillance systems. However, their actions did not go unnoticed for long. Suspicion arose among the prison authorities, leading to the installation of a hidden camera within the store cupboard. This camera would eventually capture evidence of their sexual activities, providing undeniable proof of misconduct. Between the 22nd and 28th of September 2020, the newly installed camera recorded the interactions between Begum and Mullings. The footage obtained captured them engaging in various sexual activities, including instances where oral sex took place. This evidence—
Damn. I don't understand how you could be that stupid. You work and you know they have cameras and you know they install cameras. I mean, I don't know. You can't be that dumb, bro.
was not only a clear violation of professional conduct, but also a serious breach of the law, given Begum's position as a public officer. The legal proceedings against Shania Begum commenced following the discovery of the footage. The case was brought before Birmingham Crown Court, where Begum faced charges of misconduct in a public office, a grave offense that she ultimately admitted to. Officer Shania Begum was then sentenced to 16 months in jail. Next up, Rafaela Martinez. On March 7, 2024, a probation officer was arrested for having an affair with an inmate at the Dorothy Kirby Center in Commerce, a juvenile detention facility in Los Angeles County. In the statement released announcing the arrest, the officer was not named in a statement from the department, but an anonymous law enforcement source confirmed her identity to the LA Times. The officer in question was Officer Rafaela Martinez, a 51-year-old probation officer who worked at the Dorothy Kirby Center for many years.
I've seen the POs. I've seen the POs do that a lot. POs
years. The investigation into Martinez's alleged misconduct began when a cell phone was recovered from a youth in custody at the Dorothy Kirby Center. This device, which should never have been in the facility, contained evidence that was both intimate and incriminating. Texts and photos of a sexual nature were discovered, revealing an inappropriate and illegal relationship between Martinez and the detained youth. The content was not only explicit, but also suggested that some of the communications occurred while Martinez was on duty, blurring the lines between professional conduct and personal indiscretions. The youth's identity is currently being withheld due to his young age, and the officer's identity is being concealed. The arrest of Officer Martinez was swift, following the discovery of the damning evidence. In addition to the charges related to the sexual misconduct, she was also accused of smuggling a cell phone and a prescription medication bottle into the facility. These items, considered contraband in the controlled environment of a jail, further compounded the gravity of her alleged crimes. The case against Martinez had yet to be presented to the LA County District Attorney's Office, but the Court of Public Opinion was already in session. News of her arrest drew immediate and unequivocal condemnation from county leaders. LA County Supervisor Lindsay Horvath described the reported actions as heinous and problematic on every level, insisting that arrest and a swift investigation were the only appropriate responses. This incident was not an isolated one, but rather the latest in a string of scandals that have plagued that particular probation department. A staffing crisis and the closure of several facilities by a state oversight board in recent years have marred the department's reputation. The Dorothy Kirby Center, where the incident involving Martinez took place, was under scrutiny, and Los Padrinos Juvenile Hall in Downey was facing potential closure later in the year. The arrest of Martinez also brought to light at least one other allegation of sexual misconduct against a probation officer being investigated by county officials. Earlier in the year, a youth held claimed that a female officer officer he met while in custody attempted to initiate a romantic relationship with him after his release in late 2023. Next up, Tory Landmesser. In a shocking revelation that has sent ripples through the Texas Juvenile Justice Department, Tory Renee Landmesser, a 26-year-old juvenile corrections officer, finds herself at the center of a scandalous storm. Hired in March 2019, Landmesser was tasked with the rehabilitation and oversight of young offenders at the McLennan County State Juvenile Corrections Facility. As a juvenile corrections officer, Landmesser's role was pivotal in shaping the lives of young offenders. Her responsibilities included supervising the daily activities of detainees, implementing rehabilitation programs, and maintaining a secure environment for both the staff and the juveniles. The job required a balance of authority and empathy, as officers like Landmesser were often seen as role models and disciplinarians. They were expected to enforce rules, conduct security checks, and report on the behavior and progress of the residents. However, Officer Landmesser didn't stick to the rules. During her tenure, Tory Landmesser met a teenager, and what started as a professional relationship took a turn to become personal, breaching the boundaries of her role as a juvenile corrections officer. The teenager, who was 19 years old at the time, had been released on parole in early February, starting their secret affair. According to the affidavit, Landmesser and the young parolee's relationship turned physical shortly after his release. This hidden connection was uncovered in May when the teenager was arrested by Waco police at Landmesser's home for an out-of-county warrant related to a carjacking incident in Houston.
I've seen that. We had an officer that inmate was arrested. No, I'm sorry. The inmate wasn't arrested in her house, but they found out they had a like she was having a relationship with him while he was in the jail, and she was one of the officers. And then when he got out, he was living with her. You can't do that. Period.
The arrest triggered a series of revealed the hidden relationship. Family members, upon discovering the teenager's location and connection with Landmesser, reported their concerns to authorities. At first, Officer Landmesser and the inmate denied any relationship. However, further investigations uncovered recorded phone calls where Landmesser and the teenager openly discussed their love and plans to marry. The revelation of these conversations and Landmesser's admission to having sex with the parolee at her home, knowing he was on parole, highlighted the seriousness of the situation. Following the uncovering of the affair, Landmesser was arrested on charges of violating the civil rights of a person in custody, a state jail felony. The Texas Office of the Inspector General, which filed the charges, underscored the gravity of the offense, given the power, dynamics, and the vulnerability of the teenager involved. Landmesser's arrest occurred on a Wednesday, and she was booked into McLennan County Jail. The bond for her release was set at $5,000, which she posted the following day, securing her release from custody. However, her freedom outside the jail cell did not absolve her from the consequences within her professional sphere. The Texas Juvenile Justice Department took immediate action, suspending Landmesser without pay on May 21st as the investigation into the relationship continued. After the suspension, the young female officer was eventually fired. Caitlin Go.
All right, man. I'm at it there. It's a long video, but you get the gist of it, man. I'm gonna have a link to the whole video. I might do a part 2. I don't know. Let me see. Let me save this. I might do a part 2, but I'll have a link for this video so you can watch the whole thing and watch the other female inmates. But I'm telling you, man, I mean female officers. I'm telling you, I've seen this so many times. So many times. Let me save this for you. I've seen this so many times. This is a normal occurrence, man. I hate to say it like that. It's normal. Um, it's just I don't know what it is with the female officers in the jail, and then the male officers, the male Leos that work the road. I don't know what it is. The males normally do this type of stuff outside with a detainee or whatever, like we saw in the other video, and the females in the jail. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's that. I'm not saying the male officers do it. I've seen it, but rarely. You gotta understand something. I know what it is. Here's what it is. Men, we're more visual. we're going more off looks. So you'll rarely have a male officer. It's more rare to see a male officer do anything with a female inmate because in there the females aren't looking good like they do on the outside. They don't have their makeup, they don't have their dresses, nothing. They're just wearing, you know, their dress blue. I mean, their dress blues, their blues or whatever. If they're trustees, what they're wearing uh the inmate uniform and their hair's messed up. They're not really done up. So we're more visual. Women are more, um, they're more in their feelings. So you say the right thing, you can get them. If you say the right thing, you can get in those feelings and get them. On the outside, women are all dressed up. Remember, they'll arrest them in mini skirts and little poom poom shorts, like we used to call them. So the men that are more visual are gonna see that and be like, "Oh, you know what I mean?" And then that's where they make their mistakes. Women make the mistake in the jail, where they have nothing but time to hear. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, that's all you got, man. If you got anything you want me to react to, doesn't matter if it's police video or it's ghost, conspiracies, whatever. Let me know. Put it in the comments below. Music also, and I will get to it. I have a list of things that people have sent me. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, follow me on social media, and I'll see you on the next smoke.